everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. Today we are going to do a video for my friend David Stover. So David had been coming to my restore classes at Yoga 6, but since it's summer, he's been having a harder time getting to class. So we thought we would do a video here for him so that he could do this video at home and share it with anyone he'd like to. If you guys like more of these videos, I will put more on my Patreon. All you have to do is subscribe to my Patreon. The link is below. It's just $20 a month. So we'll get started with 2 blocks, maybe some like a pillow or a towel or a blanket, a firmer blanket, something to fill up any spaces if needed. But I'm gonna sit up here on a meditation cushion. So find your comfortable seat and we'll get started. Okay, once you have gathered your props, let's find that comfortable seat. And you might want to start in Sukhasana with one ankle or one shin in front of the other. Or you could start with one ankle on top of the other. Sometimes it feels good to be sitting on a support, whether it's the block or a bolster or a cushion, and you can fold your shins down in a supported hero's pose. So choose anything that's gonna feel comfortable. You can even sit against a wall or extend your legs out in front if folding the legs is not comfortable. Find something that will be. And then once you find that seat, just develop a nice long spine from the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And then close your eyes or soften your gaze and see if you can bring the head slightly back so that the back of the skull is in line with the back of the shoulders and your chin is parallel to the floor. And then once you get your body in that correct alignment, just see if you can soften the fluctuations of the mind and bring your mind inward towards your breath. And just start to notice how the breath is showing up today. Does the breath feel smooth? Or is there a shakiness or some jagged edges to the breath? Notice the depth of the breath. Does it feel shallow? Or does it feel deep? And you might find one is different than the other. The inhale might be different than the exhale. And gently acknowledge if you find any pauses in the breath. Sometimes that pause happens after the exhale into the inhale, as the inhale is requires a little bit more effort. Your diaphragm has to contract on the inhale. And then without too much force or effort, see if you can gradually deepen the breath. See if you can smooth out any shakiness or jagged edges. And see if you can breathe continuously without any pause. As you're breathing here, allow the abdomen to be relaxed. So when you breathe in, you can feel the abdomen slightly expanding, and when you breathe out, you feel the abdomen slightly pulling back in. And you can keep the eyes closed or the gaze soft and release your hands down by your side and reach your arms all the way up overhead. And then interlace the fingers and press the palms up towards the ceiling. Try to find length through the side body. Really reach those palms up towards the ceiling. Reach, reach, reach. Feel rooting downward through your sit bones. And then gently start to turn left and right. So just really subtle twists left, right, a few more times. And then we'll twist over to the right. Bring your left hand down outside your right thigh. Your right hand can come to your support behind you or maybe your lower back. And then inhale, lengthen your spine. As you exhale, start to twist and turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Or your right shoulder, rather. Good. Now as we inhale, we'll reach the arms out and up again. Exhale, twist over to the left. Bring the right hand down outside the thigh. Every inhale, think about reaching up through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, twist a little deeper as you look over that left shoulder. Good. Inhale, come back through to center, and then reach your left arm up on your next breath in. As you exhale, take a side bend over to the right. So rooting down through your left sit bone, feel that stretch all the way down the left side of your body from the fingertips down towards the hip. And breathe into that space. You might want a block or a blanket like I have under the right hand to raise the floor up. Good. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, release the arm and switch sides. Inhale, reach your right arm high. Exhale, side bend over to the left. Now this time we're breathing all the way down the right side of the body from those fingers to the hip. Bring your mind into that space and just breathe deeply. Good. Inhale, lift back up, and exhale to release. Now inhale, reach the crown of the head up, and as you exhale, bend your chin towards your chest. And start to rock gently your head from side to side. Noticing any aches and pains there. And lift your chin parallel to the floor and start to turn your head gently from side to side, left and right. Good. Come back to neutral. Let's bring the right arm forward. So the right palm will face forward and the fingers will face up towards the ceiling, and then gently pull your fingers, your palm back into space. If you want a little bit more heat, you can always extend the arm fully. That's going to start to fire up the shoulder. And breathe there. Maybe close your eyes. We're stretching here the bottom of the wrist and wrist extension. Then allow the fingers to turn down towards the ground, and then pull again with your hand, pull it back towards your torso. Now just make sure you're not just pulling at the fingers. You want to actually push a little bit more towards the wrist joint, so we get a nice flexion of the wrist here. And then again, bring your mind into where you're stretching and breathe into it. So whenever your breath gets short and choppy, that's your body's way of saying back off. Don't go as hard, or don't try so hard. So continue to listen in to the breath for the cue and how much pressure to use for all of these stretches. And then we'll release, and then bring your left hand forward. Fingers will face up, and same thing here. Gently pull your hand back to space. I like to keep the left elbow kind of hugged in towards the rib, but you can always extend your arm more if you'd like that. And then bring the fingers down. Again, we'll get wrist extension here, and then flexion. Easy to mix up. All right, then we'll come back up and we'll rotate the wrist in one direction. Rotate the wrist in the opposite direction. And then bring your fingers to your shoulders. We're going to do some rotations of the shoulders now. So elbows will come down towards the ribs, forward towards the front of your mat, up towards the ceiling and back towards the back of your mat. So we're doing this about 5 times in this one direction. You can even let the rib cage kind of move with the arms. So you're going through spinal flexion and extension as well if you'd like. And once you've done about 5 in that direction, do 5 or so in the opposite direction. Good. All right, and then shake out those arms, shake out the wrists, warming all that up. And we'll come onto hands and knees in table pose. So you'll take yourself in quadruped position. Hands and knees, hands right underneath your shoulders. Knees will be right underneath your hips. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And as you inhale, start to drop your belly down, expand your heart forward as you look up. Exhale, push down into your floor, round your spine, tuck your chin. Do it again. Inhale, arch your back, seat up, chest up, look up. Exhale, push and round. Try this a few more times at your own pace and see if you can close your eyes and then just tap into that intuition within, noticing maybe what your body's calling for today in this moment. And just knowing that each time you step on your mat is going to feel different. Each day is so different. So what you need is also maybe different. All right, and then you can also do more lateral barrel rolls here where you go side to side, or you can just sway your hips or your neck. So just a few more options for you if you're new to yoga. Sway those hips, rock your head. And then find a neutral spine, find some stillness for a moment. Curl the toes underneath. And then we'll start to press our seat towards the heels. So now stretching out through the plantar fascia at the bottom of the feet and into the toes. If you need a little less, just don't go so far back. Breathe into that. If you need a little bit more, you can walk your hands back. Bring your hands to your thighs and take a moment to close your eyes here with a nice long spine. And pay attention to your breath again. Make sure that you're able to breathe and that you're not holding the breath. Good. And then walk yourself back forward. We'll tap the tops of the feet down to the floor. And then extend your right leg straight behind you. So right leg, extend it straight back, press the heel back into space. Just get a good stretch here down the back of the leg, into the calf, hamstrings. And then lift that leg up in line with your hip and point through your toes. On your next exhale, press down into your hands, pull the knee in towards the chest. As you inhale, extend and lengthen. Squeeze your right glute. Again, exhale, pull the knee back in. We're just doing it one more time. Inhale, extend. Last time, exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend. And then from here, you can stay right here. Turn your gaze down towards the ground so the back of the neck is long. But if you want more of a challenge in your balance, reach your left arm forward and reach your fingers, your left fingers and your right toes in the opposite direction. Find a lot of space here. And breathe into that. Good. On your next exhale, release your left hand, cross your right foot behind your left. Press the heel back into space and start to turn your gaze over your left shoulder. If you want a little more here, you can always walk your left fingers out to the side, to the left. Feeling good stretch down the right side of your body, hopefully. Lean a little to the right if you're not feeling that. And then come back into center, release your right knee back to the floor. Take a moment here to rest in child's pose. Bring the big toes together, the knees apart, and relax the forehead down on the mat. Just breathe into the stillness. Notice how it feels in this pose. Good, and then come up to all fours. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Extend your left leg straight behind you. Press the heel back into space a few times. Let that feel good. And then hold the press, lift the leg up in line with your hip, point your left toes. From here on your exhale, pull the knee into your chest, really press into your hands, find space for that knee, and then inhale, extend and lengthen. Exhale again, pull it in, use your core, inhale, extend. One more time, exhale, pull in, press down, inhale, extend. From here, for finding that spinal balance, maybe you want to just keep both hands on the floor here. If you want more of that challenge, reach your right arm forward. Find that length, reach, reach, reach in opposite direction. Good, and then we'll release, hand and cross the left foot behind your right. Now press the the left heel back into space. Feel this side body stretched on the left side of your body. And then walk your right hands out to the side if you want a little bit more. Good, bring your right hand back down, release your left knee. Back to the floor and sway those hips a little bit, side to side, left and right. Good. And then from here, reach your left arm up overhead, open up through the chest. Try to stack your left shoulder on top of right. Maybe you roll the wrist here, one direction and the other. And then thread that needle. Drop your left shoulder down on the mat. And then press into the floor with the right hand. Reach your left arm back up to unwind. Exhale, release back to table and switch sides. Inhale, reach your right arm up. Open up the chest, the shoulder, roll the wrist one way and then the other. And exhale to thread. Drop your right shoulder down. Now, if your shoulder doesn't quite touch, you can always place a block, or fill that space with like a pillow or a couple pillows or blankets, just raising the floor up. But you do want your upper body to be relaxed on something, whether it's the floor or the props. Good, and then press back into the floor with your left hand. Inhale, reach your right arm up, and exhale back to table. From here, let's slide the hips slightly forward so you have that diagonal line from the crown of the head to the back of the knees. Keep your core nice and engaged and see if you can bring your elbow creases forward. As you exhale, lower all the way down to your belly and then point through your toes. From here, on your inhale, lift your chest. Cobra pose, squeeze your shoulders and elbows. As you exhale, release your chest back down to the floor. And do it again. Inhale, lift your heart up, look up. Exhale, release. This time, inhale, lift even higher, extending your arms, maybe lifting your thighs up off the ground, coming into upward facing dog. Good. And then exhale, downward facing dog, lift your hips up. Good, so let's lift both heels up towards the ceiling and then lower the right heel as you bend your left knee deeper. Inhale, lift up again. Exhale, lower the left heel, bend the right knee deeper. Do it twice more at your own pace. And then begin to walk your feet forward or walk your hands back if that's better for you. And you might want blocks here underneath your hands for a little bit more height. And then just let the upper body hang down, maybe a bend in your knees. Come into a forward fold and breathe into the space. So since your organs are compressed, you might find the breath, it's a little more challenging to breathe, so you might have to deepen the breath just a little more. Pay attention to make sure you're doing it. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Let's keep the block under your right hand. Take a little bend in your right knee and bring your left hand to your hip. Start to open up the shoulder. Stack your left shoulder on top of right. Maybe look up towards the ceiling. If you want, you can reach your arm high. Breathe here. On your exhale, release your left hand down under your shoulder, and same thing, bend your left knee, right hand to hip. Maybe open up, right arm towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And then exhale to release that. On your inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, one hand at a time, comes to your lower back. Cores engage, elbows squeeze in towards each other. Inhale all the way up to stand. Good. From here, feet will be hip distance apart. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. On your exhale, sit down into a chair pose. Now, if you want a little bit more heat in the shoulders, you can reach your arms up overhead. Try to sit down deep into the heels, maybe even lifting all your toes up to challenge or to test your balance, I guess. And then release your toes back down to the floor. Good. Now we'll do a little bit of functional movement. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms up overhead. As you exhale, bend your knees, sit back into chair. Good. Do it again. Inhale, straighten, extend. Exhale, bend, sit down. Good. That's 2. Inhale. Exhale. Good. We're going to 5. So go 2 more at your own pace. And once you've done all 5, you sit back into chair, and then we'll add a little pulse. So this is the heat building poses I'm talking about that are a little different in this kind of restore class. So pulse and pulse for 10. You'll feel that heat in the top of the thighs. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. Hold it low. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Good, you got this for 3, for 2, and 1. Extend your legs, reach your arms out wide in opposite directions. Palms are facing forward. Spread those fingers nice and wide. And as you exhale, cross the right arm underneath the left. Wrap your fingers around your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Do it again. Inhale, up. Like a cat-cow, but we're standing here. Exhale, round. Make sure there's a soft bend in your knees. One more time. Inhale, open. Lift the elbows and chest. Exhale, close in and round the spine. From here, inhale, open the arms again into that T. And exhale, let's bring the left arm underneath the right. Same thing here, set up so the knees are softly bent. As you inhale, lift your elbows, your chest up towards the ceiling. Exhale, hug in around your spine, tuck the chin and towards the arms. Inhale again, open up, look up, invite that back bend. Exhale to round. One more time. Inhale to open. And exhale in to close. All right, inhale, open your arms out again. And exhale, release your arms back down. Now from here, we'll step to the side of our mat. You might want 2 blocks here towards the long edge of your mat. So set yourself up. So you've got 2 blocks, and we'll turn towards one side of your mat. From here, we'll turn the toes out to towards the corners, I guess, and then heels will be turned in. Hands will be at heart center in Anjali Mudra, and then bend your knees and sit down here into goddess pose, or breathe right here. See if you can soften all the muscles in the face. Just allow the legs to take this load. And then see if you can soften the amount you feel this sensation by breathing deeper and really bringing awareness to your breath. On your next inhale, straighten your legs, reach your arms and out, opposite direction, star pose. Exhale back to that goddess squat. Do it again. Inhale, reach, extend. Exhale, bend in. 3 more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale to bend. Last 2. 1 more. Good. Hold this squat here. Might want to add a little pulse, make a little bit more heat for the inner and outer thighs. Good. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. So now thumbs in, fingers outside. You're going to let the shoulders lift up towards the ears. Those arms are really straight, letting the upper body weight just drop into the lower body. And as you exhale, right shoulder comes down, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back through to center. Exhale, drop the opposite shoulder down. Inhale, come back through to center. This time, maybe you want to press both knees back into space or come even further into this stretch by dropping the elbows down and pressing the knees back this way. Good. From here, come back to your hands, lift all the way up. You're going to turn the toes in, heels out. Hands come to your hips and squeeze those elbows in again towards each other. As you inhale, lift your sternum, lift your heart up towards the ceiling, lean back. And as you exhale, hinge forward from your waist. Now you might want those hands to come down under your blocks or on the floor. And then inhale, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs into a forward fold. You can walk your blocks back or take your hands to the ground now. And just keep reaching the crown of the head down towards the floor, really stretching the back of the legs into the back of the glutes. Keep shifting the weight forward towards the toes and see if you can straighten those legs. If the knees want to be bent, on every inhale, you just work on straightening them. And as you inhale, lengthen your spine, look up, flat back. Now walk both blocks over to the left. Start to bend your left knee. Keep your right leg straight into this side lunge. Walk yourself through center on your exhale. Bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. Breathing into that left inner thigh. And then inhale, come back up and then start to turn all the way over your left shoulder. So now you're going to come into a low lunge. So both knees are bent. I'm sorry, so that left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Good, breathe there. And then start to straighten the left leg, reach the right heel down, maybe even lift those left toes up towards the ceiling. This is more of like an angle pose, longer, like a longer pyramid. And then let's go back and forth 3 times. On your inhale, bend the knee, lift your chest. Exhale, hips back, angle. 2 more. Last one. Good. Rebend that knee. Start to walk again towards the long edge. We're going to just walk block over block or hand over hand to the back, to the opposite side, I guess. Bend your right knee. Keep your left leg straight. 1 block on either side of that right foot. Stretching here through the left hip flexor. And then start to straighten that right leg. Maybe lift the right toes up as you reach the left heel towards the ground. Tuck the chin slightly. And again, we'll go back and forth 3 times. Inhale, bend the knee, lift your chest. Exhale to angle. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one, breathe in. And breathe out. Good, rebend the knee. And then from here, start to turn again towards the long edge. We'll walk the feet towards each other, heel toe the feet in. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, fold here. You can grab opposite elbows if that feels good. Maybe sway a little side to side. And then release the arms on your next inhale. Root down to rise. Reach your arms all the way up. And hands come down by your side. Now, from here, we're going to come into a squat. You might want a couple blocks or something there to help raise the floor up again. So feet are a little bit, probably as wide as your mat if you're on the short edge side. Toes are slightly turned out, and bend your knees. You can sit down again, maybe right on that block. Press your knees open. If you don't have a block available, or if it's just too much to go down here, you can have halfway, kind of like what we did in goddess pose when we held it, but your feet were a little bit wider in that one. So this is just a little bit closer together, a little bit wider than your hips, okay? Or you can sit fully down between the heels as you reach the crown of the head up and press the knees open wide with your elbows. Just take a moment here to breathe. Good. And then release your seat to the floor. From here, we will just extend the legs out in front. Maybe take any flesh away from the seat so you can feel your sit bones really rooting down into the floor. Reach the crown of the head up. Allow your hands to rest down by your hips. And just take a moment here for Dandasana staff pose. So your feet are flexed, the toes are pulling back towards your face. This is dorsiflexion. And you have a nice long spine. So it's as if you are sitting up against a wall. Chin parallel to the floor, shoulders down away from ears. Take a moment to find your breath. On your next exhale, you can walk your hands forward, invite a forward fold. Try not to round too much through the thoracic spine. You want to find extension in the spine, hinging forward from the hips, more than rounding from the back. Good, and then lift up. We'll bend the knees, bring the knees up towards the ceiling. Let the knees open out wide. This is Baddha Konasana, or bound angle pose. So knees out wide. You can always even fill up the space here under the knees if you have those blocks. If you don't have blocks, I do sell blocks on my website, belyogi.com/shop if you want those blocks. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge forward from your waist and press the knees down and towards the ground or towards the blocks with the elbows. Good. As you inhale, lift your chest. Now we'll bring the right shin parallel to the front edge of your mat and bend your left knee so the knee is behind your right foot. Okay, so sit up nice and tall here and inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, take a gentle twist over your left shoulder. Good, inhale, come back through to center, and this time walk your hands over to the right. You can come onto your fingertips, or maybe you walk your hands even further back, coming into that twist. So I'm lengthening through the spine and then twisting, bringing my left ribs towards the right side. Good, inhale, come back through to center, and we'll switch the legs. Now bring your left shin parallel to the front edge of your mat, and your right knee will bend. Inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, take the twist over to the right. Good, and then inhale through center, exhale, walking yourself over to the right, coming onto those fingertips, finding that good stretch here. Good, and then come back through to center. Let's come down onto our back, or our bellies. So let's lie down. Hey, Bodhi. This is my bubbies. This is my dog. All right, I'm gonna keep going through my yoga. Lie down onto your belly. And then extend your arms back behind you. Exhale all your breath here. And as you inhale, lift everything up. Lift your arms up, lift your thighs up. Breathe as you activate all the muscles in the back side of the body. Good. As you exhale, release. Bring your arms out wide into a T. And then bend your left elbow. Bring your hand under your shoulder and roll yourself onto your right shoulder. So your right arm had to be out to the side. Hopefully you can see that in the video. Palm facing down. And you roll into that shoulder. I like to bend the left knee behind the right. Put that foot on the floor for a little bit more support. If your head is high in the air, fill that space with a blanket, maybe a block. Just make sure it's not too high. On your next inhale, allow your belly to roll back towards the mat. Extend your left arm out now. Bend your right elbow, bring the hand under your shoulder, and roll onto your left shoulder as you rest your head on either a blanket, a pillow, or the block or the floor. And just breathe here. Good. Come back to your abdomen. And then from here, we'll come into crocodile pose. Allow your toes to turn out towards the corners of your mat. Stack your palms on top of each other and rest your forehead down. And just take a moment to breathe. Feel the belly slightly pressing into the floor with each breath in. Feel it pulling away with each breath out. And then gently lift your head up. Allow your right shoulder or right forearm to be parallel to the floor. Walk your right foot in so the toes are facing back. Bend your left knee, reach for that foot with your left hand, getting into a quad stretch in the left thigh. Pull that heel towards your seat. Maybe press the pubic bone into the floor. Squeeze your left glute a bit. And then release, and we'll switch sides. Bring your left forearm parallel to the floor. Bend your right knee. Pull that heel towards your seat, or maybe slightly outside the seat as you press the pubic bone into the floor. And then release that. Next, we'll slide that left knee up towards the left shoulder. Let the toes turn out to the side, and then relax the forehead back on the arms. Breathe here into the inner thigh, into the outer hip. And slide your left leg back, and we'll switch sides. Pull that right knee up into your right shoulder. Turn your toes out. Breathe into the right inner thigh and outer hip. Breathe deeply. And then slide your left leg long. You're going to press yourself up, and we're just going to turn around onto the back. Coming into our final few stretches, lie down on your back, and then bend your right knee into your chest. Extend your left leg long. Take a few moments there. Point or flex the foot. Extend the right leg and pull the left knee into your chest. And then extend your left leg and find your final rest. If you have some time here to lie down in Shavasana, I would say take at least 5 minutes. In this video, we'll just do a short little rest and come back up. So if you are craving a little more time, just pause the video now. Extend your arms, extend your legs. Just take a moment to melt into the floor. Start to bring movement back into your body. You can roll wrists or ankles. And then however you'd like to come on out of it, come on up, cross your ankles. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. Show yourself some gratitude for showing up today. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. It's been a pleasure. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and tell your friends. Again, if you're interested in more of these videos, I can post some on my Patreon. So for now, namaste. Thank you, thank you.